You ever notice how people don't actually Google how to fix my relationship? They Google things like, signs it's time to leave. Am I overreacting in my relationship? Is this normal behavior? Which is basically the internet version of your brain whispering, hey, something here feels wrong. Because when a relationship is healthy, you're not secretly watching videos at 1:37 a.m., trying to decode it like a crime documentary. So let's talk about the signs people ignore until they can't anymore. First sign, your boundaries exist, but only on paper. You say what bothers you. You explain clearly. You repeat yourself calmly. And somehow, the same behavior keeps happening. That's not miscommunication. That's someone learning your limits are optional. Second sign, you feel ridiculous for having normal emotions. You say, that hurt me. They say, you're too sensitive. You say, that bothered me. They say, you're overthinking. After a while, you stop expressing feelings altogether. Because every conversation turns into you defending the fact that you have them. Third sign, you trust their potential more than their behavior. You know the sentence. They're not like this all the time. They're just going through a lot. They'll change eventually. Hope is powerful, but patterns are louder. Fourth sign, the relationship feels like a full-time emotional job. You're managing moods, predicting reactions, replaying conversations in your head like you're editing a podcast. And you're exhausted. Healthy relationships require effort, but they're not supposed to feel like customer service with no lunch break. Fifth sign, you can't have a difficult conversation without it turning into chaos. Maybe it becomes yelling. Maybe it becomes silence for 3 days. Maybe the conversation somehow ends with you apologizing for bringing it up. Communication shouldn't feel like stepping on a landmine. Sixth sign, you've slowly disappeared. Your hobbies? Gone. Your opinions? Softer. Your friends? You see them less. You didn't leave yourself overnight. You just kept shrinking to keep the peace. Seventh sign, your body feels relief when they're not around. You notice your shoulders relax. Your mood improves. Your mind feels quieter. That's not random. Your nervous system is filing a report. Eighth sign, you keep collecting good moments like evidence. One amazing weekend. One heartfelt apology. One really sweet message at 2 a.m. But between those moments, the pattern stays the same. Consistency matters more than highlight reels. Ninth sign, you stay because leaving feels harder than staying. You've invested years, shared friends, shared routines, maybe even shared furniture that took 3 hours to assemble. But time invested doesn't automatically mean time well spent. And the 10th sign, the quietest one. If this relationship started today, with everything you now know, would you still choose it? That question makes people pause for a reason. Because deep down, most people already know the answer. Here's the important part though. Not every problem means leave. Sometimes the issue is two people learning how to communicate better. Sometimes the issue is personal healing. But some patterns are different. Disrespect, constant dishonesty, emotional manipulation, living in a permanent state of stress. Those aren't relationship challenges. Those are warning signs. And ignoring them doesn't make them disappear. It just makes them last longer. The truth most people realize too late is this. Love alone doesn't make a relationship healthy. You also need respect, safety, effort from both sides. Because love without those things starts to feel less like a relationship and more like a trap you keep explaining to your friends. So if even one of these signs made you pause, don't ignore that pause. Clarity isn't dramatic, but it saves people years. Subscribe to LoveLens. Clarity changes everything.